Netflix Raw is right around the corner and is one of the biggest things to happen to WWE of all time. It cannot be understated. Do you know how many people in the world can now watch wrestling whenever they want? Or they can just, maybe you had to work late one night and you can now just watch it whenever you want, wherever you want. Raw going to Netflix, which if you haven't bought TKO stock yet, or maybe even Netflix stock, maybe you should. I'm not a stock guy, but wow, I think that is gonna skyrocket real soon. Monday Night Raw on Netflix. The worldwide reach is insane, and in order to make it a success, they are pulling out all the stops. They brought every dog in, every pony in, and they're gonna do the ultimate dog and pony show on January 6th, because wow, this might be the only non-PLE Roman Reigns match we ever get again. For real, when was the last time Roman fought on TV? I'm saying Netflix's TV, all right? And when was the last time Roman Reigns fought on TV? I don't even know. Was it 2022? The end of 2022 when he fought John Cena and Kevin Owens in a tag match with Sami Zayn? That might be it. Wow, that was a long time ago. And yet Netflix premiere getting it. So if they're going to treat this episode like a PLE, well then, by YouTube wrestling law, I must do a YouTube wrestling prediction video. Oh, and before we get into it, at the end of this video, there is going to be a channel update. So I'll tell you when the channel update starts. So if you only came for the predictions, you'll be free to go whenever you want. But yeah, if you want to stay and get a little peek behind the curtains of 2025, stay after. There are 4 confirmed matches. They did move the finals to the Intercontinental Women's Championship tournament. They moved it, I think, to the next week. I'm not too happy with that because nothing says you're not important to be well, we'll bump you. So that's kind of disconcerting for the Intercontinental title. However, let's look at the 4 matches. We got Drew McIntyre versus Jey Uso just announced. We've got Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan in their forever feud finally coming to an end. Roman freaking Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. These two have been on PLEs with their tribes fighting back and forth. They just main evented War Games with their tribes, and now it's 1-1. Who's going to win? Who's going to take control of the ULA Fala? And that's a WrestleMania match, but Netflix first episode. And then the main event, which is surprising, the main event is CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. The reason why it's surprising is because usually Roman goes on last, but they've said that this is the main event. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. This was going to be the main event of WrestleMania last year, and we're getting it, their first match on Monday. And then we got John Cena. He's going to be returning. Somehow, someway, he's making an appearance. And we have a tease of a match between The New Day and Rey Mysterio with a mystery partner. So that, I'm going to include that on the matchup because a PLE has, usually, if it's a BPLE, it has 5 matches. This one has 4, and 3 of them are definitely WrestleMania caliber matches, with Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre actually being a good undercard for WrestleMania. So this is a WrestleMania card right here. And then we got a surprise introduction. Let's just get into it. Let's go Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre. This one could go any way because Drew McIntyre, he is a character that can suffer a loss and actually come out stronger. All Jey Uso needs to do is have Sami Zayn interfere or even Jimmy Uso interfere, and then Drew can be just even more mad, more upset, and become even more of a villain because he's been wronged so many times. He is in an awesome spot, one of the few characters that can just eat a loss and be stronger in it no matter what happens. We want to see him lose just so we can see how he's going to react and come back stronger. And Jey Uso, he's actually in a position where he can lose as well and still kind of stay at the level he is. He has that yeet thing going for him and people love it. People absolutely love it. And him losing has not hurt him. Surprisingly, I was afraid it would, but it hasn't. So either of them can lose. And because this is the beginning of probably a feud. I don't think this will go all the way to WrestleMania, but who would he fight at WrestleMania? Who does Drew fight? Because the end game is Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns is under the same roof right now. But I'm going to say it should be Drew, because Drew's coming off the Hell in the Cell victory, and he's on fire right now. And he just beat Sammy, and he's going through the bloodline one by one. However, I'm going to give it to Jey Uso, so the world watching Netflix can see the Yeet celebration, because don't forget, this episode is not just for us fans who have been in the trenches watching wrestling for 35 years like myself, but it's actually to completely win over new people, and Jey Uso definitely has that common man feel where he can bring people to I just like that guy. That guy is cool. So I can see Jey Uso winning. Now it's going to be completely cheating. Somehow, some way, Sammy or Jimmy going to get involved, and it will allow Drew to get even further upset and further the storyline, and he will then probably fight Jey again at Royal Rumble or Saturday Night's Main Event. There you go. Saturday Night's Main Event. They'll probably finish their feud, and that's where Drew will win. But right here, right now, Jey is somehow, some way gonna win. At some point during the show, John Cena is gonna show up. He's already been advertised. This is the beginning of his farewell tour. I believe, though, what will also happen is that Logan Paul's gonna show up at some point, because Logan Paul, he was at the kickoff show, and he's a huge name, get a lot of buzz. I feel he'll show up probably to start challenging John Cena, but he's probably also gonna start challenging someone else, and that's by the name of Gunther. Gunther is someone I used to love, not so much now, because where's the dude been at? 2 Raws, the last 2 Raws leading into the biggest Raw of all time, and the champion doesn't show up. But let me just put that aside. I think that these 3, we gotta have Gunther on the show, we gotta have Logan Paul on the show, we gotta have John Cena on the show. I think these 3 will have a segment together, kind of, sort of, setting up a triple threat match at Saturday Night's Main Event or Royal Rumble, because, well, you know what? We got to get the belt off Gunther somehow. I thought it was going to go to CM Punk, but now I'm starting to not think that, and this would be a great way to get the belt off Gunther if they still want him to look strong, and get the belt on someone else, whether it be Logan Paul, which, could you imagine? The internet will explode if Logan Paul is the guy that beat Gunther, but you know what? Gunther's been kind of a punk lately, so I would be all for it at this point. Yeah, I kind of want that now that I said it. Now that I spoke it into the universe, I kind of want Logan Paul to beat Gunther. Imagine this. Triple threat match. Logan Paul pins John Cena to win the title off Gunther. That would get everybody mad. Oh, I can't believe he pinned Cena. I can't believe he won the title from Gunther. That's what I want. That's what I want right now. But I don't know if that's what will happen. But we could also have Cena pinning Logan Paul, thus getting the belt off of Gunther. We have our 17th title reign, and now we can have a program of Logan Paul and John Cena maybe at WrestleMania. I don't know. Whatever happens between those 3, I say those 3 segment together, setting up a future match, a future triple threat. And whether Logan Paul or John Cena wins the championship from Gunther, you can win this championship from me. That's right. All you got to do is comment below and be a subscriber. You got to subscribe, hit the bell notification, maybe give the video a thumbs up. You can win the belt. All you got to do. That's all you got to do. Why am I doing it? I'm trying to become a full-time YouTuber. I literally want to quit my day job and just produce wrestling content, and by doing so, I'm going to give a belt away for every 10,000 subscribers I get till I hit 100,000. That means eventually I'm giving away 10 of these belts. So right now, though, we're very close. We're about 2,000 away, so hook it up, subscribe, and enjoy the channel. Next up, we have Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. This feud should have ended about a month or 2 after SummerSlam. It went on way too long. Or it could have ended at War Games when Rhea got the visual pin on Liv Morgan. But nope, it's going. It's still going. Yay. But that said, it's time to end it completely once and for all. They have made it a last women's standing match, which implies that Liv Morgan actually has a chance because she'll do whatever she needs to do in order to win. However, I think it's going to be Rhea Ripley. They're going into WrestleMania. They're going to want Rhea Ripley in a marquee match. And who's about to return? The Dark Queen herself, Charlotte Flair. These two have fought twice at WrestleMania. They can have their trilogy of matches at WrestleMania, and honestly, the way that Rhea Ripley has been booked. She's like Superman. And, well, you know what? Charlotte Flair, very similar in her booking. She is also very much like Superman. So now we're going to have two Supermans come at each other, and let's see who can win. I don't know who's going to bring the kryptonite, but, well, I guess if they brought the kryptonite, it would hurt them both. So I don't know. Liv Morgan loses this match right here. Probably going to end up breaking up the Judgment Day completely. When Finn Balor says something, he'll probably make some snarky remark, and then Liv Morgan will go bonkers and probably split the Judgment Day up with half of them going to SmackDown and half of them staying here. But we got to get Liv and Rhea apart. But that's for the episodes after Netflix. This one right here, going with Rhea Ripley. New Day have been getting booed left and right, and it looks like they're finally going to get a match with the locker room leader, Rey Mysterio. They went up to Rey Mysterio. They made fun of his crew. They were like, well, if you want to put up or shut up, but who are you going to pick? This guy, that guy? They just pretty much completely humiliated the LWO, and Rey Mysterio didn't stick up for them. In fact, he was like, yeah, I guess I'll go get somebody else then. If he doesn't pick Dragon Lee, then what's the point of having a faction? If you're going to go out and get help from somewhere else, then why would you even have a faction? Dragon Lee is a very capable person to fight on your side against the New Day. However, based on the vignettes and teases, it's pretty much assumed that it's going to be Penta. Penta is a former AEW wrestler. He's been on the circuit for a long time, so, you know, just people like myself might have really discovered him through AEW. He's great. He's like a very evil-looking luchador. Awesome stuff. Awesome guy. He has a brother, too, that's being kind of, whether you like it or not, Tony Khan is not letting the guy be released from his contract. And you can say it's business or you can say it's petty. That's for you to debate, not me. I'm just saying that he's being held in his contract, so Penta is coming before his brother Phoenix, and so everybody's thinking that Rey is going to bring in Penta on his side. And again, it's like, why aren't we bringing in your actual faction? Like, what's the point of the LWO if you don't actually rely on them when you're getting called out by the New Day? So that said, I say the New Day are taking this one, and the reason why is Penta being a good guy with the way that his costume looks, it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right, and honestly, Penta doesn't want to be in the LWO. Penta doesn't want to be in the LWO. What has it done? Teaming up with Rey doesn't really help your career at all. You don't get that luchador rub. Penta needs to just be on his own, and let's just have a feud with those guys. So I'm thinking along the lines of, at some point, some way, Penta is going to turn on Rey Mysterio. I don't think Penta's even coming in as Rey's friend. I think maybe they might say, oh yeah, I used Rey to get into the door, but I'm the future, I'm the now, and I say Penta, he just takes out Rey Mysterio. Maybe during the match, you know, Rey's getting beat up, he goes for the hot tag, but Penta, he moves his arm, and then he just walks away, stops at the ramp as Rey's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then the New Day blindside Rey, get the pin, and Penta, he's seen laughing as he leaves, and then we don't find out his motivations until the following week. But yeah, I think that the New Day will beat them, and that's because Penta, he's not on Rey's side. He's going to abandon Rey. Now we come to Roman and Solo Sikoa. I feel that I'm surprised that this is not the final match, because I also thought The Rock was going to appear, and I still think The Rock might appear. But the fact is, Rock really likes that main event spot. I mean, oh man, even 3 seconds at Bad Blood bumped Punk, bumped Punk to the opening of the card in the Hell in a Cell structure. But I still say that if you're not gonna close the show, you gotta open the show. And so Roman versus Solo Sikoa to draw everybody in. It's like, oh my God, here's a storyline that's been going on since WrestleMania 40, and it all comes to a head for the coveted ULA Fala, the control of the family. Who is the true tribal chief? I think, believe it or not, I think Roman eats the loss. I know, right? To Solo Sikoa, listen. If Solo loses, what happens to him? He doesn't have a tribe? What happens to Jacob Fatu? What happens to Tama Tonga? Yeah, they can go all on their own, disperse, but it's like, I don't know. It just feels like they kind of need each other still right now. They're not ready to be on their own. But Roman Reigns and his tribe, they are ready to be on their own. Look at what Sami has accomplished since leaving the bloodline. Look at what Jey Uso is right now. He actually has a match on the card because of his time in the bloodline, but he doesn't need it anymore. Roman Reigns, even though he's still, to me, he's still very much a heel, but he's getting cheered. He doesn't need it anymore. I don't think he's going to be cheating as much as he once did. I think he's still going to allow himself to cheat, but for all intents and purposes, they're treating him and how he fights like a face, even though he has yet to apologize. He is still a bad guy. He still doesn't care about anybody but himself. But at the end of the day, the fans are cheering him. He's being considered a face, and he doesn't need the bloodline. In fact, the bloodline might hinder him some. So, for his story arc, get the bloodline away. Make it where he can't have a bloodline. He's completely on his own from now until WrestleMania. And maybe at Mania, he wins the title back. Maybe at SummerSlam, he wins the title back. And we have Solo this whole time can just be building his own resume apart from Roman Reigns, because he already beat Roman. He doesn't need to care about Roman anymore. He has the ULA Fala. They can go their separate ways. One can be on SmackDown, one can be on Raw, and eventually their paths will cross again. We'll have Solo Sikoa go for the title. Roman can beat him, and then Solo Sikoa says, I want a rematch, and Roman says, I'm not giving you a rematch unless you put the ULA Fala back on the line. And then Roman can win the ULA Fala, 6, 7, 8 months from now. But right now, Solo Sikoa is going to win. Not going to be a clean win. This is not a repeat of Crown Jewel. This will be very much a cheating to win scenario. And we got all the bloodline supposed to be barred from ringside, but we all know that could change. All he has to do, though, he can bring in Zilla Fatu, Hikuleo, Lance. We have 3 members of the bloodline, actual family, the Anoa'i family that could easily come in, but honestly, I say The Rock just comes in. The Rock is a board member. He has a very vested interest behind the scenes in making WWE as much money as possible. And even if he's not in the main event, we could have The Rock come here and interfere with Roman Reigns, take out Roman Reigns completely. We've seen The Rock show up at the beginning of Raw before, and he's kind of just, his presence is felt throughout. Who knows, maybe after Punk and Seth, there's another segment with The Rock that has nothing to do with Seth and Punk, or maybe it does, I don't know. I just see The Rock, who definitely showed that he was no longer aligned with anybody at Bad Blood. He shows up here and costs Roman the win. Now, I don't know if he's the true power behind Solo Sikoa, or if him and Solo are just going to be kind of like allies from this point forward, or maybe it's like last year. There was a final boss and there was a tribal chief. Either way, Rock interferes and Roman loses. Slight chance we don't go that route, and it's actually Drew McIntyre who costs Roman the match, because we already have seen that Drew and Solo are they're willing to put their hatred of each other aside in order to hate the greater good, which is Roman Reigns and his bloodline. So what if boom, Claymore kick, Solo gets the win? I don't know. I'm thinking Rock, though, but either way, they have Drew McIntyre as a backup. That would completely start the Drew Roman feud. That would be a WrestleMania caliber feud. But I don't know if Roman would accept that. I think Roman's only opponents are really going to be Rock, Cody, maybe CM Punk, possibly Jacob Fatu, because when Roman came back, he wanted to put over Jacob. So let's see what happens. And now that will be your first match. So let's go to the main event, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. This one's going to be pretty straightforward. I think they're just going to want to send the people home happy. I think this is all about just showing people that WWE is a good time and you feel good after you watch it. Seth Rollins, while he's not an actual heel right now, he's definitely not getting cheered as much as CM Punk. So if we had to choose who's the face, who's the heel, CM Punk is the face in this situation. And I just see CM Punk winning. I don't think there'll be any cheating. I don't think nothing. I think CM Punk just takes the win. Seth Rollins can definitely survive a loss. Now there might be, maybe there's a little distraction or something, or maybe CM Punk does something to really just fire up Seth, but at the end of the day, it's like a very little protection on Seth Rollins, but it's not going to be like a chair shot or anything like that. It's just going to be something that's going to annoy Seth, and then he'll get pinned and be like, oh man, I took my mind off the ball, and that's why I lost. CM Punk, I still want you, and this will leave room for other stuff to happen in the future, but yeah, CM Punk gonna take this match. I'm very much looking forward to it. Like I said, this was gonna be main event WrestleMania night 1, and here it is, plus their promo last week of them just cooking each other left and right. It was just an amazing back and forth promo. Do yourself a favor and watch it. But yeah, CM Punk, he's your winner, just because at the end of the day, they want people to be like, wow, that was a good show. I know who CM Punk is, blah, 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 blah. And so they're gonna turn off happy when CM Punk, look in my eyes, he wins. And yeah, so those are my predictions for the Netflix premiere on January 6th. What do you think? Do you think I got anything wrong? Put it in the comments below. I know a lot of people are going to be like, the Roman one. The Roman one is probably the most, the Roman one's probably the most crazy one. You know what? I just thought about it. What if Drew McIntyre interfered on Seth's behalf? That's interesting. That would allow Seth to win. But no. I'm gonna stick with sending the people home happy. CM Punk, he wins. All right, so that is the prediction portion of this video. I am now going to segue into the channel update. So if you wanna know what's going on with the channel, well then please grab yourself a cup of coffee or a Red Bull. Stick around. Otherwise, you're free to go and have a great day. So what's going on with the channel? I got some good news. I got some bad news. All right. Good news is we're very close to 10,000 subscribers. So I am very pumped about that. How am I going to give away the belt? We'll figure that part out, okay? But basically, when I hit 10,000, what I'm going to do is I'll announce it to the channel, probably on the community tab, and say such and such date, probably 2 weeks from hitting 10,000, we'll hold a live stream on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I will draw the winner. I will then announce the winner, and then that said winner will have to get in contact with me. They'll have a 7-day window to get in contact with me. If they don't, we'll just do it again until someone gets the belt. After that, will I quit my job? Because that's one of the parts that I keep saying, oh, well, once I hit 10,000, that'll help me quit my job. No, I won't quit my job right away. 10,000 is definitely not enough to quit my job. Unfortunately. I wish it were, or maybe if I had a sponsor or two, but I don't. I don't know how to do YouTube. I don't know how to get sponsors. I don't know how to do nothing when it comes to YouTube. I pretty much do everything on my own, with the exception of editing, which we'll talk about that in a second. What will happen is I'll just keep the course. I'll keep doing videos until I'm able to quit. When will I be able to quit? What is the magic number? I think you have to have 42,963. No, that's a joke. That's a made-up number. There is no magic number. Pretty much you need to just cover your bills. And what happens is right now I'm making about 120 to 200 on a really good month on YouTube. Nothing. Hey, you know what? I will gladly take $200 every single month from YouTube. It's not enough to quit my job though. So I need to make more. I need more subscribers, more. And what I'll do is every 10,000, I'll give away another replica belt until we hit to 100,000. At 100,000, we will reevaluate. But for every 10,000 milestone we hit on this channel, I'm going to give away a belt in the same exact manner, live stream it, give it away, blah, 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 blah. If you live in India, Zimbabwe, Bangladesh, Ghana, no matter where it is, I will figure out a way to mail you the belt. Worldwide community here, we're all welcome on this channel. I want everybody to be able to have a chance at winning. What else do I gotta say? What's the bad news? Bad news is that Bill Goldberg has one more match in him, and then we're gonna have to sit through it in 2025 at some point. Yes, that is bad news, but that is not the actual bad news. So I am a restaurant GM. We're coming into a period of time in my work, my actual work, where, couldn't quit the job, so I have to keep doing the job. Well, there's gonna be a surprise audit. And there's a 3-month, 4-month window where that can happen. So until that audit happens, I'm going to have to be more at work. So instead of doing 40 to 50 hours at my job, I'm going to be doing 50 to 60 hours at my job, which means I won't be able to produce as many videos So that sucks. But don't worry, I'm still going to be doing videos. I'm still going to be doing live streams. I'm going to do, the channel's continuing. It's just not going to be as frequent. I don't know what it will be. It'll just kind of depend on how tired I am, how many idiots I had to deal with at my job. So that said, don't worry, the channel's going. And once the audit happens, then we're back at gangbusters. But you know what? If my videos, they take off before the audit happens, well, you know, you can help me out. But no matter what, I'm going to exit with my head held tight. I'll put in my 2-week notice for my boss, because my boss is super cool. What kind of videos can you expect to see in 2025? My editor, we'll talk about him in a second, my editor came up with a really good idea, this series in which I do videos for new fans. So Netflix is about to happen. We're about to get a bunch of new fans, and so they need to be caught up on stuff. They're going to see the New Day as heels and getting booed, but they're not going to know why. So maybe I can do a Wrestling 101 on the New Day and where they've come from, how long they've been together, and what caused their breakup, and now you know why that they are broken up. Because a lot of channels will do a history on like the Legion of Doom, Ric Flair, people from like 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But what about right now? Roman Reigns, he just had a stranglehold on WWE for like 4 years, and yet if you're completely new walking in, you don't really know why Roman is so important. Why is this guy, he can come around only like 3 times a year and everybody just puts their fingers in the air? What's up with Yeet? What's all that about? You know, so I'm thinking of doing some videos like that. We'll probably have more list videos. We're going to keep with hot takes. Hot takes, because of the editing process, and I won't have a lot of time, we're not going to be putting the word bubbles probably. Things, we're going to have to just shave off time because of my actual work schedule right now until I get done with this audit. And then with the channel itself, there is an editor right now. The editor actually, I've talked about him once or twice, but the editor has actually done about 40 videos for the channel. So I'm very, very happy. If you ever see a video where the picture goes really small for a second, those are always the editor's videos. Maybe you could do that right now. I need to pay them more. I pay them very, very little. They believe in the channel, so we're very lucky, because if they didn't believe in the channel and actually wanted to be paid what an editor is paid, I couldn't afford it. Like, I can't afford almost nothing. I'm kind of just like bopping and weaving between bills until this channel can actually take off. So we have a lot to thank for the editor. Please, I'll put a link to his channel below. Maybe you can go to his channel and say, hey, thanks for helping out Wrestling Job, because even though he is paid, it's an insulting amount. So yeah, what else? I don't know. I would love to hear video ideas from you guys and you girls as well. Please always feel free to give me feedback. Constructive feedback doesn't have to always be positive. It can be negative if respectful, and I would love to just see what we can do to grow the channel. I don't know. We could do live Q&As. We could do this. We could do that. Just tell me what you want in the comments below. And guys and girls, I appreciate what we did in 2024, but 2025 is going to be a better year. We're just going to have to like slow it down just for a little so I can get over this hump at my day job. Hopefully, though, in the next 3 or 4 months, who knows? All it takes is one video to just explode the channel. We've built our base. We've got a strong base now. All we got to do is get that 1 or 2 really good videos to take us to 50,000, 60,000 subscribers. Because at that point, I could see myself really starting to be like, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. I grew up poor, so I can live poor. I don't need a lot, you know. If I earned like 20,000 on YouTube, I'd probably quit. I can do it. I'll figure out a way. Pork and beans, that's what I'll be eating. Bring me back to my childhood. Guys, girls, thank you so much for being a part of this channel, and I cannot wait to grow with you. Have a great day. New Year, 2025, all of it. 2026 while we're at it. Just keep having great years, and just, I heart you.